Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam tasliman kathiran kathira. My brothers and sisters, Ramadan al-Kareem is also a beautiful opportunity for us to connect with the Quran al-Kareem. To connect with the Quran by reading it ourselves, by listening to it in Taraweeh, and alhamdulillah, if Allah has blessed you with an imam who recites well, then this is a huge blessing. If you are in many masjid committee where, in a place where imams are forced to recite fast, please have mercy on yourself. Do not incur the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are forcing the imam to recite fast, and that poor guy, because you pay his salary, he is obeying you instead of obeying Allah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا تحرك لسانك لتعجل به. Allah said, do not move your tongue fast in a hurry. Now this ayat came in Surah Al-Qiyamah for Rasulullah who was trying at that time to try to recite fast, not for Taraweeh or something, but to memorize. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no, take your time, be peaceful. Allah said, I will make this Quran firm in your heart. But the order of not moving your tongue fast and not reciting fast applies to everyone. And the condition of recitation of the Quran is to follow the usul of tajweed, to make sure that the pronunciation of the Quran is according to the rules of tajweed, and that the Quran is not distorted because it is being recited too fast. Now, if remember, understand this very clearly, if you are the reason why the imam is distorting the recitation of the Quran, the sin is on you. He is doing it because the poor man needs his salary, and you are the guy sitting there with the purse strings, and you are trying to ride like riding a horse. You got the reins while he has the bit in his mouth. This is haram, and you will answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember that, right? Fear the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Taraweeh is not for Taraweeh is nafil. If you cannot stand behind the imam for the full period, sit down. If you cannot sit down, if you need to leave, leave. But leave with a sense of regret that I wish I could have stayed. Right? Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity of listening to His kalam. Leave with a sense of regret and say, I wish I could have stayed. Don't try to force the imam to read fast and so on and so forth. I see this so often in so many places. This is something which is reprehensible, it is despicable, it is terrible, it is not in keeping with the akhlaq of a Muslim. Right? I hope I'm making myself very clear. So do not do this. And I've seen these so-called people of power who, just because you give some donations, you think that you own the masjid. No, don't. The masjid is the house of Allah. Your donation does not make you a part owner with Allah. You are giving a donation for yourself so that your qabr will not be full of fire. So make sure that you do not do things which will negate all the good that you do. Do not force the imam. Make the period of Ramadan a time where you fall in love with the Quran, where you learn to connect with the Quran. Stand there remembering and understanding that this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaking. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking to me through this imam. And make dua for the imam and say, Allah, make the Quran firm in the imam's heart. Make him somebody who lives by the Quran. If the imam recites fast, tell him to slow down. Tell him, do not distort the tajweed of the Quran. Read according to the tajweed. And educate the people with you. Educate the musalleen. If somebody else is trying to hurry, say, no, this is the kalam of Allah. It will be read and recited the way it is supposed to be recited. If you are in a hurry, no problem. Please, even if you pray nothing at all, even if you do not pray Taraweeh, there is no sin on you. But if you force the imam to read fast for your convenience, there is a major sin on you. Please do not destroy yourself in Ramadan. Make it a means of saving yourself from the fire, not falling in the fire. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.